been a while.
I always
Are you
enjoy it.
feeling?
A lot better. Yeah,
I
yeah.
worry about you. I keep up on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a challenge, you know. It is. But, you know, hey.
Am I cooking hot dogs? No.
Liz is
All
one
right.
when she gets here.
So,
I can get you
while he's doing that,
So I'll be back.
today we are filming at the Northwest Natural Stone for a fundraiser for Relay Local.
All right.
And actually, our guest tonight is Diane Kraft.
Thank you.
She's back again.
Again.
So why don't we just start this off? Anything new coming up?
Yeah,
or?
there is. So we're going to have to talk loud but soft, is what I understood you to say earlier. So I'm here to talk about, this is delayed a little bit, isn't it? This is interesting. So anyway, Canterbury Park is adding on.
Oh.
Yes, so we currently have 72 apartments. We're full, 100% full. And then I'm going to pull an oxymoron and say, except for we have 2 empty apartments. And the reason they're empty is because eventually they're going to be gone when we add the new addition, so we can't rent them. So those now are our guest rooms so family members are coming from out of town, they can stay in those apartments. But we are full, and we're going to be adding on 33 apartments. We broke ground, we started kicking dirt around, and just right before I came over here, we took our 21st deposit out of 33 apartments.
Oh, that is awesome.
And it's, there's no structure. There's no structure there. There's no foundation there.
A lot of that talks to
sand.
your guys' reputation. Obviously, they know it's going to be quality. They know it's
Well, and that's very true. And I'll toot our horns on that. We've been here since 1958, so you know that there's some quality there, a high standard of care. But also, I can attribute to the increase in deposits because the economy's changing.
Yes.
Longview houses are selling. The couple that just deposited before I came over here are moving up from Oregon somewhere. Can't remember. Mammoth, Oregon, maybe somewhere. And which really doesn't have any bearing on this economy, but overall, the global, it does. They came in, they toured some of other communities in Longview, they looked at ours and said, where do we just sign? And yeah, it was really great. And we're seeing a lot of couples coming in now, more than ever before. So that's really nice to see. We also have a couple that already live there, and they've been bringing in their friends, and they've created their own neighborhood. Because they know everybody, all their friends, and she says it's just the thing to do now.
It is.
So, but houses are selling. People that tried to sell a couple of years ago that couldn't, they're selling now, and they're selling quickly. And so sometimes we have to actually move them into an apartment than what they aren't really ready for because an apartment's ready in their household. So I think that also contributes a little bit to the fact that we're 100% full.
Now in the apartments, can they prepay for a number of years if they want to? Is there?
No, we really want to stay month to month rent.
Makes sense. Probably better financially too, not to have all the.
Well, and there are senior housing options where not in our area, but in other areas, what they call a buy-in. So you sell your home and you have that $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 equity, whatever you have. You can turn around and buy into the senior housing. But the problem with that is now you've tied up all your lucrative money.
Sure.
You have no liquid money. And what happens if you get sick tomorrow?
And
Then what do you do? So there is a caveat to a contract like that, but you still may lose a lot of money.
Sure, that makes
A lot of money. And then those buy-ins also say, we will take care of you through end of life. But what that really means is that as your needs increase, you've got to move over to another apartment. So you may buy into this big, large, beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. And not that the other ones aren't as lovely, but they're not as lovely.
It's almost like a reverse mortgage concept.
Oh, don't even get me going on reverse mortgage.
It almost feels similar concept. In
Yes,
some ways,
yes. The reverse mortgage, I understand there's a need to do that, but I hope it is the last resort
I would agree.
that someone does that and they haven't been misrepresented on taking that mortgage out. Oh my gosh. I cringe when someone tells me they have a second mortgage on their house. And I know I'm digressing a little bit, but to share a story about that, there's a particular.
So it's all senior advocacy. And
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
There is a couple in this town that have a second mortgage. Had a reason to spend several days in the hospital. Had a reason to then go to extended care, meaning a nursing home. They still weren't physically able to go back home yet, so they came and stayed with us. We started getting them on their feet and getting. I think they were with us about 8 months, and they had to go back home, even though they weren't ready to be on their own yet, because their reverse mortgage says they couldn't be out of the home for more than X amount of months. So they had to go back home and be put into an unsafe setting because of the reverse mortgage. They're stuck.
Sure.
They're stuck. So I think, my advice to anyone that really, and there's financial aid, I'm not being critical of those because they need to do that. That may be their only option. I just want them to understand and make sure that is the last option. And when they're discussing second mortgage with someone that's represented accurately, and it's always good to get a second opinion. Just don't jump into a second
I've
mortgage.
really been told on things like that a lot of times. You're better off. I realize if you need a reverse mortgage, you might not be financially in a place to do this. And I get your thoughts on this is to pay someone that has no financial interest in actually giving you advice on that. So that way, and effort, financial advice.
So you do a financial advisor, you can get a senior, someone that's a senior advocate, an attorney that's a senior advocate that understands the senior role. There are some people out there. You can go to CAP. They have that.
True.
They have
Good
that
point.
Sheila over there that has legal counsel for you for nothing. So there are some options that don't cost you money, but if you are afforded to be able to go and pay an attorney to review that, that's a good idea to do.
Yeah.
And even some of the mortgage lenders here in town are very gracious to review that stuff. So just research your options before you go start paying money to review it, but also know that you can get any, like Dave Gordon here in town, he's a senior attorney. There's only, oh gosh, what's his name? I'm trying to think. Right down on the corner, right on the corner, right by Josh Graham Jewelry. Oh gosh, what's his name? Anyway, I can't think of it. That's sorry. Oh, Craig. Sorry, Craig. No, Jew. But so there's other ones out there. I can give you addresses if they want to call me or telephone numbers. I can give you. I have a list of them. But anyway, so yeah. Oh, that is my blood rolling. But so going back to the park, the great news about no.
Oh, I
Great,
bumped them.
oh,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Sorry, you too.
Yeah. So the great news at Canterbury Park too of being full, and then also already 21 of the 33 rented. The good news is that we party. So we have parties once a month, and they're called Park Hat parties. And we invite everyone that's deposited for their new apartment to come in and get an update on construction. So there's no what's going on now. They dug a big hole, the water's gushing out, what happened, and everybody panicking. Well, what they did is they hit some storm drains underneath that they didn't know were there. It makes sense that they're there because it's a parking lot. It used to be on top of them. So it makes sense, but you don't always know what you're digging into.
Oh,
yeah.
So the residents that are looking down, watching that, they're panicking. What's going on now? There's this water gushing out of
Water
there.
coming to us.
And I was teasing them instead of somebody just flushed the toilet. Don't
Nice.
worry.
Nice.
But I just teasing them. They go, no, Diane, there's a lot more water in that. I go, okay. So anyway, so we give them once a month updates on what's going on in construction. Today they got a timeline and a calendar of what's going on. Obviously, construction's never on time.
No.
And weather.
Always costs more, takes more time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're 10 months out, before we'll be probably accepting our first resident if the weather cooperates. We don't have a snow like we had last year.
Yeah.
I hope we are supposed to, but I hope not. So we do that. We do the monthly hard hat parties, and then we do an event every month on top of that. So we have Veterans Day. This month we did a Red Hatters luncheon. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And then in November we're doing a Veterans event, and then in December we're sending out a holiday postcard. And what that holiday postcard is that this every entertainer is going to be in our building, and it invites the recipient of that postcard to come in enjoy entertainment, whether resident or non-resident. So there's just something going on every month,
And of course,
just
you guys
to
have your
keep people
famous
interactive.
bazaar.
Oh my gosh, that's at the end. Oh my gosh, do we have a break coming up? But anyway, the Canterbury Inn Bazaar is November 14th, and it's been full for a long time, and there's a waiting list for vendors. And I need to share, the bazaar, we've always done a shuttle from the Expo Center. That's always done that for many, many years. So if you park at the Expo Center, we'll shuttle you over to the front door of the Canterbury Inn, shop till you drop, pick you up at the front door, and take you back to your car. I mean, that is even better than parking near the inn and walking over the block. So backing up to that, every event that we're having at the Canterbury Park, except for the Red Hatters, we did this, but not the Veterans event because that's more the family friends. We run a shuttle from the Expo Center too. So we had 85 ladies that came to the Red Hatter. We had them park at the Expo and we shuttled them in. Just makes sense. We have a great partnership with Expo Center to allow us to do that. So then the Holiday Bazaar, you need to come to because the raffle, everything that we sell for the raffle goes to the senior centers. So last year we gave Castle Rock, Kelso, and Longview, I believe, over almost $300 each from the bazaar. So this year the funds from the raffle go back to the senior centers. Then the very next day is Pose Your Pets with Santa, and Pose Your Pets with Santa is 9 to 4, and that's a fundraiser for the Humane Society. I think it's $25 for several pictures, and all of that money goes to fund whatever they need at the Humane Society. So that's at the Canterbury Inn. We won't shuttle for that because we're not shuttling animals, but it also isn't a big rush of people either. So we don't need to do the shuttle. But yeah, there's lots of stuff coming up. And then in January, we have another doctor coming in to do a presentation at Canterbury Inn. I haven't solidified who that will be yet.
You know what the subject matter might be? Probably who's the doctor.
Might be cardiac. That's kind of where we're going. We did one in
The leading
October.
killer.
Yes, especially women.
Yeah.
So we, in October, we had Dr. Shane, and Dr. Shane was on dementia. We had over 80 people come. It was big. So we look at that in January being the same thing. And then in February, we're bringing back an oldie but goldie. And it's breakfast with Frosty.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And so a few years ago we did this, and we made little pancakes, frosty pancakes with the head and the belly and the bottom, and we put chocolate chip buttons and sausages for arms and whipped cream for the hat and decorate in the snow. And so yeah, that's coming back. Haven't done that for, I can't even remember. I looked it up on my computer and I forgot how many years ago we did that. So that's in February, and that's at the end. And in March,
It's to do in February too, because there's so many things that happen in November, December. It's kind of nice to do something fun to do.
well, it's for the family.
Yeah.
You know, so it isn't just seniors. This is a whole different attraction.
Yeah.
You know, so little kids come and we give them a little frosty gift. We have to make sure it's not tainted towards the holiday. That's not the goal. The goal is snow. Frosty, we play with Frosty in the snow. He's not always at Christmas time.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, so it's really going to be fun, and I'm excited to bring that event back, and I'm excited to have little kids in the building. The residents really enjoy all the little kids, and they're dressed up, and they're coming to breakfast, and all pricked up, and we sing songs, and have a sing-along, and it's really geared for families, so that's really fun. Of course, we have trick-or-treating this Friday. Bring your kids by Canterbury Inn.
What time?
I think it starts at 6, is it? And we do it at the Delaware. Yeah. And we do it at Canterbury Inn in Delaware. Not too many go to the park. Yes, we're under construction.
Well, I guess I'll talk one of
Yes, the Expo Center is, it's really, I was over there today. Here we go, digressing again. I was over there today, and I was poking my head in there, and it's going to be really cool. I saw the framing go up, and they put a lot of work. I always see the finished product. I never see the building of the product. And today I went in there, and there's this maze of wooden I don't know if they're 2x, probably not 2x4s. I don't know a 2x4 from a hole in the wall.
I
But
don't think I've seen more. I think it is 2x4
2x4s?
construction. I think.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
and that's all there was 2x4
Yeah.
construction, and I was looking at it, watching how now you've got to go this way. Oh no, now you go this way, and it's really gonna be
It's
fun. It
amazing.
looks more like a maze this year as opposed to walking in and trick or treating a storefronts
Oh, very
like they've
nice.
had before.
Sure.
So I haven't gone for less. Yeah, I don't even know if I've been there since Lake Orion used to do it. You know, the old
Oh,
aquarium.
sure.
And those were storefronts
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
there. But this one definitely is different. But
Well, the
I was
man hours
intrigued.
that go behind it. It's just unbelievable.
There was at least 10 people in there today.
Oh yeah.
At least.
I don't doubt
And
that.
that was around 2. Because I had an appointment with Mike Casetta there. And at 2, there was over 10 people in there.
I know
working.
that Bumblebee, which is here somewhere, they actually, move the stuff. Like there's so much stuff that they store if you're long out there, store the stuff. The thing is, you think about somebody's
Storage.
taking care of the storage. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you think about it. There's so many pieces that go into it.
Yeah, I was very impressed. So I maybe just dress down and try to be a little trick or treater and go and
There
see
you
what
go.
the inside looks
Sounds
like.
good.
You
Are you
know?
guys have a presence there this year? As far as,
No, we're not. I know the chamber is, and I'm in the chamber,
Cool.
as you know.
Yes.
And I know they're going to be giving out treats to advertise Jingle All the Way.
Oh, good.
And so that they're going to be giving away candy canes, interestingly enough,
Okay. Awesome.
for Santa.
Hey, that's perfect.
That's right. And so Jingle All the Way is being represented. But our company, no, and I don't really know why. I guess maybe because time just got away and it just got away.
I understand that.
But we do it at the building, so that's probably another reason why we haven't looked at it for a while. But yeah, so it's great fun. So yeah, how are you guys? Just asking all these things about me. How are you, Cody?
I'm doing.
You're doing okay.
That was just sort of-
Is Candace busy? Yeah. You?
Yeah, lots of event things going on. In fact, today we're at an event. We're at the Fall Festival, which is a fundraiser for a dinner that takes place December 14th for those that just need a warm dinner during the cold season.
I'll be there to help.
Lynn's actually over at Moore, puts it on, so if you have questions or donations or things like that, you can contact her directly at 1232 Commerce, where she's located at. Her phone number, I want to say, is 636-4663, but I could be wrong.
I have it
So
in
we
my
might want to
phone.
look it up. Unless you might give me somebody else's number.
So to be able to go to the dinner, is there any criteria?
There
for
is
that?
not. We don't screen people. If you need or want a hot meal that day, just come on down. So yeah, initially we were kind of calling it a dinner for the homeless, but 636-4558. Gosh, I definitely got it wrong. So 636-4558. I know what the other number was. That's Windermere. I worked in real estate for too long.
Windermere.
So.
So don't call that other number. Call
Yeah,
Lynn's,
if you go
please.
home, call that other number.
We're not
but yeah.
selling people.
Yes.
Oh gosh, yes. So the women's affair.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Do you know that we haven't had it for 3 years, and
Oh,
I
really?
still get calls. 3 years goes fast when you're having fun. I still get calls to this day. When is the women's affair? Do you have any space? My mom and I always come to it. My sister comes down from Seattle.
What's the women's affair?
Okay, well, the women's affair is like a women's expo. So everything that a vendor, anything that a woman wants, generally is represented by a vendor there. And it started out with just 4 of us ladies. I just got a couple friends together first and said, why do we always have to go to Portland to go to Women's Expo? Why can't we do it here in Albany?
Sure.
And so the Canterbury was very kind to allow us to host it there. And so everybody assumed it was a Kelch event, and it's not. It's 4 of us ladies that put it together. We organize it. And we had 80 plus vendors there. And we usually did it the last Saturday of every September. We did it for 8 years, the last Saturday in September. Well, it got too big for the Canterbury, and we moved to the Red Lion. And the Red Lion was gracious and they were very kind to work with, but it just wasn't the venue there. It started feeling more like a trade show as opposed to a pampering for women. And it was only because it's not the Red Lion's fault. Trust me, I love the Red Lion. But what happened was we had so many vendors, and the tables were just side by side, and you barely had space to walk through to get behind your table.
I get you.
And it was just table. There was just personality wasn't there. So I just said, well, I'm not doing it anymore. That just didn't work. And then we said, everybody says, why don't you look into the expo? Well, the expo is basically a trade show area too. So we just kind of put it in our back pocket. And then a month ago, we have a new executive director at Canterbury Inn, and we talked about things we used to do there. You know, what did we used to do? So we talked about the Frosty Breakfast. Thus now we're doing Frosty Breakfast. We talked about the women's beer. Hey, we talked about it, and it goes, okay, why don't we do it? And I said, oh, what do you mean? Careful what you wish for. So we decided that we can't do it in September anymore because it's only 6 weeks between the bazaar and the women's affair,
That makes sense.
and it's too taxing on the residents and staff. Lot staff, because we have to empty the hallways of furniture, we have to empty out all the common rooms of
I didn't
furniture.
even know about that.
Yeah, you
That's
got to empty it
nuts.
all. And then you put in 80 vendors.
Wow.
So we decided we're going to look at spring. So by the end of the month, which is coming Friday, probably now the first week of November, we have to solidify a date in April or May. And we're
We'll have
running
to come
with
back
it.
and talk about it.
Yeah, and so we're going to run with it. So we try to stay with one like vendor. So one Avon lady, one Michi Purses, one,
That's the way to go.
yeah, one of all, you know, Pampered Chef.
My mom loves me.
Longview's, yeah. You know, and maybe we had one year. We also had presentations, and we had, you know, plastic surgeon come and talk, and we had, I mean, just have all different. We even had Home Depot come in and teach women how to patch a hole on a wall. I mean, so just so you can be self-reliant, and also, you know, have pampering. So we have dentistries there, we have opticists there, we have Sensi, and we have reflexology, and I mean, it's just where you can go with 3 generations and have fun. Because
My wife
now,
always loved it. Yeah, she loved it.
and
Been
the
there, been there a couple times too.
Yeah.
So,
well, the other thing too is when you look at mom, grandma, and your daughter, and you go shopping, you get to the mall and you all split up. And then you get together for lunch and you split up. This event, everybody stays together.
That's cool.
So it's an all-day thing. You can come, and the first 500 women get free gifts, and we're out of the gifts in an hour and a half.
That is my wife right there, Christine. You love Women's Affair, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's coming back.
Oh, you
This
know,
spring.
I was just talking to somebody and they were
See?
really wanting to know if that was coming back.
I told you. It's just
by Refresh Growth Fest, and she said, mentioned it was coming back.
yes,
Yeah.
I
yes.
said, okay.
Yes, so it's just, I mean, it's just infectious. So hopefully it still stays infectious, because once we start with it, we've got to be able to pay. It's several $1,000s for that event.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so
The
when,
amount of promotion that goes into it.
Right.
Right.
right, and then the gifts that we give away, the bags we hand out when they come in the door. So there is definitely expenses, and since it is a culture event, we have to fund it as ladies, and I don't want to necessarily do that on my own personal pocket.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I also want to share, if there's money left over, it's given back to the community. And in the years past, we've given to the women's shelter, we've given scholarship to someone in business at LCC, we've given it to Community Health and Hospice, we've given it to, oh gosh, anything that affects a woman, we donate the money back to.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we never, there's no money, nobody makes money off of it. And so it's just a fun event that we like to do and keep people involved here.
Yeah.
And support small business and support those that have home businesses. That's the ultimate goal.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so I'm
Making more dollars in the community is always a good thing. So.
Yep, exactly. And then, like I said, bringing 3 generations together where you're actually going to do
Oh, yeah.
something. And you can have lunch, shots till you drop, and have a good time. So I'm looking forward to the reflexologist. I love to have a foot massage. It's just like, it's a better than a back massage. It's like, okay, oh, you've never had one?
No.
Oh,
And I hear so much happens through the foot. I mean, like a lot, there's a lot of.
everything is controlled through the foot.
Yeah.
Everything is controlled through the foot. And they push on those buttons, and this over here affects your left side, this affects your right side, this affects your brain, this affects your pain. And you just sit there and you're just, it's all you can do to keep your mouth shut, because you just want to drop your jaw.
It's like, I'm relaxed now.
I kid you not.
That's
You're
awesome.
missing out if you don't. It's better than a
And that's, I know
massage.
someone that does that too.
He just might come to get a foot massage.
Well, you know, part of the student I'll put a plug into Aesthetica. Aesthetica.
Okay, yeah.
Barbara Suter is a reflexologist now.
I did not know that.
Yes,
Very
she
cool.
does a great job. And then there's another gal in town, over in California. Yes, Gina. She does a great job. She
Yeah, I've heard really good
actually,
things about it.
she was actually at the Windsor and did like little few minute massages so you can catch it out. So yeah, so she's fabulous too.
That's cool.
So yeah. Oh, you're
And I think I've heard too, like, you know, as you were mentioning some of the independent businesses, doTERRA oils, there's
Yep.
certain places they can apply into your feet that really can make health benefits in different
Right.
parts of the body.
It's
I
because of
don't
your
think they
feet.
can make health claims, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not with them, so I can probably say these things.
Exactly. We're not saying true to form here. We're
Yeah.
just saying that what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard
No,
it.
your feet are amazing. You can control a lot of things. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world.
So, what made you guys put up another building?
Because we're full. Now, actually, in '06, we bought that whole corner lot on the corner of Hudson Street there. There used to be 1, 2, 3, 4 houses there. Initially, before we bought it, one house was torn down. And then we tore down 2 houses. And then Adele Stone was the last house that went down. And she went about 5 years ago. We said we were going to probably be rebuilding, and she left. Her family built her another home, and so we rented that house out to some of our staff members. But when we tore that house down to get ready for the bill, it was the last residential home on Third Avenue. All the residential homes are gone.
So,
That makes sense. I mean, that's where that street is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's
Yeah.
where. I
It's
mean,
commercial, but
yeah,
we're
it makes
zoned
sense.
residential.
Really?
Don't get me going on that.
Interesting.
We're a zoned residential.
don't get you going. But let's do it.
Oh, yeah. So what happened was when we bought the property, we were zoned residential. And then somewhere along the line, between the time we bought it and the time we wanted to build it, we zoned it. And we were an absent, what they called an absent stakeholder, and we were not going to be able to add on. So we went to the city council, a couple of them. They came over, we talked about it, and they changed it for us. But you know, it was a hoot.
Good.
And then the next two was we put these banners up on the fences, and in commercial zone, that's illegal against the ordinance.
Oh, because of sign ordinances.
Yeah, sign ordinance.
Oh, yeah.
So we spent time with this, and again, they're very gracious. John Brickey, I can't say
John's
enough
great.
good things about John Brickey. He is fabulous. Bob Gregory, another great guy. Hate to see him retire, but it's happening. Anyway, so we worked with them. They worked with us, and we had to rewrite the ordinance. Had to go to city council and had to get it approved to have it changed. And as soon as we heard about it, or they said, I don't know if you ever listened to all their ordinances when they read them off at city council. It's kind of fun. So anyway, ordinance number 1, and they read it, and then they either vote for it, yes or no, blah blah. So anyway, the lady got done reading the change in our ordinance, and before she even almost put a period on her sentence, Ken Patera goes, "I move that we," so Ken goes, "All let's do it," And then somebody else before Ken even really finished almost, this other, I think it was Tom Hutchinson. I hope so, Tom. So I second it. So it was, that quick. It wasn't quick as far as the process goes, but it was quick, and they wanted to work with us. It's a $7.2 million project.
Sure.
So it's not like we're just building a house or two, So to be zoned commercial, home, what did I say? Residential. It's awkward,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Really.
Yeah. So anyway, it's still zoned that and whatever, but they passed it and
Yeah, cool.
everything's fine.
Do like a conditional use? Is that what they did?
No, they actually said we could do it until construction is over. We can have those signs. But at first we had 3 on each fence, and we had to agree with only 2 on each fence.
Hey.
So, when is my uncle playing over there again?
Who's your uncle?
Vern?
Vern. Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy.
Kennedy's your uncle? That's right, I forgot about that. He's coming soon. And he's playing Santa.
He is.
Yeah, he plays Santa at the Bazaar usually. So I haven't heard if he's coming this Bazaar, but I can't imagine him not. I just love him.
He always likes dressing up.
He is such a nice, giving man. He really is. He's just, I saw him over there the other day, so I know he must have been playing the other day. So, because I saw him in the portico getting out.
See, he'll never miss a chance to dress up as Santa. That's what I know about my uncle.
Can you please give me a I love
I'll
it.
be back.
Okay, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just absolutely.
Oh, you already heard.
Oh no.
Yeah, earlier I
is
needed
that
to
a
get
joke?
some water
Uh-huh.
for the hot dogs, and so I put the pan up there, and yeah, I was trying to turn it on. They were over there just stuffing up laughing.
It's just for show.
Because of course it's just a display. That's all it is. Yeah.
So he tried to use it and-
cabinet shop. Yeah.
Don't you like it when you're the behind somebody's
Absolutely. It seems like we're off the
You know, to have have humor at somebody else's expense is always great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is very
I
actually.
know.
It's
I know.
fun.
And I usually am in.
And I go
same
for it. I
position.
just feel like that thing's going so it works.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Absolutely. So anyway, back to the park again.
We need some water out there. We got it.
Yeah, we got them drink. We already have, but you can join us. But anyway, the park. So yeah, we're full, and that's why we decided. But in 2006, when we bought the property, we knew we were going to add on anyway. So it's
Just
been a
took
plan. Yeah.
a little bit.
But so I have a great brochure, and we have look at that 3-dimensional floor plans, and so our new apartments at the Canterbury Park, we have apartments that start out at 657 square feet up to over 1,400 square feet. So they're large apartments.
1,400.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep, 657 to 1,426.
Look at the whole family.
Yes, and it's a huge 2-bedroom.
Wow.
With 2 bath, a den. Yeah, but they all have. So the amenities at the park is that they're everything's included in your rent. Food, transportation, if you want transportation. A lot of our residents still drive. Covered parking, housekeeping once a week, fireplaces, washers and dryers in every apartment.
Yeah.
I know.
And there's
I know.
2 bathrooms in that.
Probably just a little too young.
Yeah, we toured the Japanese delegates this last Saturday. That was such a delight. And there was a couple ladies, I want to move in. I want to move in. I will come back.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
on
exactly.
coming.
That's right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
What
It was
is
just
the
a
age
great.
requirements and stuff?
There really isn't any, I'm going to say, we're getting younger people in, so it's bringing down the average age. But I'm going to say your average age is still 80, but we have some less than that, obviously. And we have a lady that's 102, and she's very, she knows what she wants, and she gets what she wants, and you listen to what
She
she
demands it.
Probably no
Yes.
kids is the big thing. Probably music.
Yeah, we don't have children. Yeah, it's senior housing.
Yeah,
So,
So 50, like 55 and up, right?
I would say, but I still would say at 55, you're still in your own home, and you're probably even raising your kids at 55 or your grandkids.
Now the grandkids can come and visit.
Oh, anybody is welcome to come and visit, and they can stay in their apartments overnight, or they can stay in our guest suites. So,
wow. I didn't know
yeah,
guest
and
suites
we're
are
also going to be bringing back the jacuzzi. We closed the jacuzzi down for quite a while, and we're going to be bringing that back. up and
So a lot
running.
of good things coming back.
And then we're also going to be putting in a woodworking room for men,
Oh, nice.
or women want to join in,
Sure, sure.
and a craft room
Yeah.
when we add on, and we're also adding a bistro. So there's a lot of
You
things
never have to
coming
leave.
on.
Everything's there.
Exactly,
doubt.
self-contained.
That's cool.
And there's a beauty salon. So yeah, it's a great, and we have a lot of fun. And,
Oh, I wish I was 55 now.
yeah. With couples, it's just great. A lot of couples. And we have a lot of, men and women too, but
Yeah.
a lot of couples. So it's really been a great mix of people. And like I said, now we have closet number 21. It's amazing. We're really excited.
So volunteers, like
Volunteers? At
any
that-
volunteering?
At that particular building, not so many volunteers because the residents are out just doing things. They're volunteering in the community, a lot of our residents. We have a couple things that people could do, like maybe doing bingo and those kind of things. But at all our other buildings, definitely volunteers, definitely. We have a process to have to go through because we're, the state regs.
Oh, sure. Safe.
But we have background checks, and they have to fill out an application, and just like if you're employed. But the state requires that. So we have a great volunteer program. Delaware, always needing extra help, and Canterbury Inn, even lots of extra help. They do their activity calendars are so full that they'd love to have somebody come in and help. We have a Canterbury Inn, they have what we call seasonal craft once a month. And, not all the residents' finger dexterity is in sometimes they have gluing things. It isn't that they don't have family that comes and see them, it's just that their dexterity has changed. And so helping doing some of the gluing and being able to participate in that activity would be really helpful. Really helpful. So, good way to see, I explain this with families that have kids that don't quite understand grandparents. Sometimes they get short fused with grandparents. I said, okay, now if you wear glasses, put Vaseline on them. Or take them off, depending on your vision. So if a young person like Cody, put Vaseline on your glasses, put rubber gloves on, and now try to do anything in life. Can you pick up a dime off of the table? Probably not. Can you see very clearly? Probably not. Put earplugs in your ears. Can you hear? No, probably not. That's where a lot of seniors live their everyday life. So it gives you a better perspective on patients. And that's what I share with some families that come in and say, oh, my son is blah, 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 or my husband's lost his views. So I was like, just try that.
Yeah.
I know it seems weird. It's a weird exercise, but try it. Or think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't try it, think about it.
And the memory is still there, so they remember when it wasn't that way. They were able to do what they wanted to, when they wanted to.
Yep. And they're frustrated that they can't just glue that thing anymore, or thread that needle. Or I can't thread a needle anymore. I got to use a magnifying glass.
And to a much lighter degree, we're talking about medical earlier, some challenges that have lost many years. A biggest adjustment for me is knowing I can't work something. I just can't
And
do it.
isn't that hard?
And it is. It's still a battle. So I'll have goals and plans. I'm like, okay, I'll do the schedule. And as I try to do it, I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know how to do it. It's hard to do.
It's hard.
to adjust.
It's hard.
That's really hard to adjust.
Yeah.
I relate on that level. I'm sure it's not quite the same.
No, it's a good comparison, and it's good rationale that when things change, you have to learn how to change with it.
And it's hard because you still think the way you were able to
Right.
versus the way I
Yeah, because you've got everything in your mind is fine.
Yeah, you're like, I can do this.
Yeah, and you
Like,
feel like you can do
yeah.
it.
And
So you're
especially
sharp
if you're
to
a
do it.
go-getter,
Yeah, I know. It's
I see
hard.
my dad, he's 70 now. And this is, I still know how to work on cars, but, if I do a job where I have to lay down on my back, it takes me a week of recovery to feel really good.
Yeah.
He can still do it here, but.
And it's young,
Yeah.
and that's one thing now. 70 is the new 60.
Yeah.
And so you're younger than what you used to be.
Absolutely.
Than your parents at 17. So it's really, it's hard. It is so hard. And it's hard for us. I get a kick out of families that'll come in and say, oh my gosh, could you just hurry up? And I said,
Yeah.
she is not, number one, she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Number two, that you have to hurry because you got here a little bit later than you anticipated. So now it's her fault and she's not hurrying. I don't say that, but I'm thinking in my head. But when they say, well, she hurry up, and I just say, they don't. They just don't hurry up. And a good rationale to that is when my daughter was 3 years old, I used to try to get her up and get her to preschool. I worked a lot of hours.
Sure.
And I'd get her up in the morning, and she would make me late almost every single day. So then I'd get her up really early, and it didn't matter. Because then her sock would put on, and she'd pull it off because it didn't fit me. So then I'd get her up right before we had to leave, thinking if I rushed her, then maybe she wouldn't have time to think. So I was late every day. One day I screaming at her. I could probably make it a problem called CPS on me. And I'm just screaming at her. And I said, Amy Marie, can you just hurry up? And she put her hands on her hip and she stomped her foot. She goes, Mama, I don't know how to hurry.
Wow. Hey.
What does that word mean?
Yeah.
And it just took me back, and I'm going, right, And it's like a 3-year-old telling the adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, and I don't want to say it's the same as a senior, but a senior doesn't have to hurry anymore. They're existing in life and they have their own pace. And just because you're in a hurry, that doesn't mean
Well, it may not be safe for them to do the hurry.
It's
Their
not safe.
body may not allow them to do things safely as quickly as
Yep.
they used to.
Exactly.
well, and if they make that quick move, boom, they can be down on the ground. And so you just have to be
Now you're
patient.
talking 6 months, a year, or more of recovery. And so.
Yeah.
I know how that is because we're going into a room. They're not ready. They're not ready to leave yet. Okay, we'll have to come back.
I'll come back. Exactly. Yeah, you live that day in and day out. You know exactly what we see.
Yes, Candace.
And then the other thing too is like I walk fast,
Tickets.
and I'm really bad at walking fast, and so I have to pull myself back because they get anxious when I come up behind them really fast and they can hear me, and so I have to remember to slow down. Are you selling tickets?
Yes. So when are they doing the drawing?
What do you think we should do wrong? 7? What time is he going to draw?
I need to buy tickets.
The event's going to go till 7:30.
It's a bet you can.
45, so
Well, the show goes till 7, so let's say 7:15.
7:15. I need to buy tickets.
We got a winner.
Okay.
So yeah, 7:15 sounds good.
Is he just gonna leave and not sell me any tickets?
Oh no, definitely not.
How many are the tickets?
Yeah. So did you already take? Where's the other half?
Brad just gave me this.
He only gave you that?
Yeah.
We should have given you both halves, so you can put one half in the.
Yeah, you need to put some in the bucket. You can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't put the other half in, you aren't gonna win. You're gonna be a total loser. The
Yeah, Brad.
other half is full.
We got Jack Sparrow here, guys.
That's funny.
Okay.
If you come next Tuesday night for Liz.
You guys are so funny.
Dressed up like that.
All right. So anyway, so back to thank you very much. So yeah, so I always say to family members, don't, just try to get here on time. If you're going to be late, call us. Let us start initiating them to get ready, rather than coming in the door. Come on, better hurry up, better hurry up, better hurry up. And we all know that. I mean, life happens. So yeah, you're not going to hurry now.
You already used
That was so funny. Hilarious. Yeah, so what do we have time left? We got a few minutes left. So, okay. So then let's talk about Canterbury Gardens.
Okay.
Canterbury Gardens is our dementia community. And we are so amazingly busy there as well. And so we are just about full there. We have running about 2 residents a week coming in. So it's been really, really busy. And with dementia, we now are building in 7 other states, and we're averaging 3 buildings a year.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think we're up to 2 communities with 3 in the horizon. And what does that mean? It means that Aaron actually has investors now, so he doesn't own them outright. He does the Canterbury Park, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, he has investors. So we're
Well,
in
the fact that
Texas.
he's building that money, I think also speaks to the need increasing. It sounds like quite a bit.
Yep. We are aging in place. We're living longer. The other thing we're seeing, kind of going into the different types of dementia, we're seeing vascular dementia quite a bit. And vascular dementia obviously is when you have a stroke or something like that, or pneumonia, or so vascular is very popular, unfortunately, because we're just not taking care of ourselves like we used to. The other thing too, it's not like we used to, it's just our food.
Yeah, our food has changed.
Our food,
I've
that's
learned
what
a lot
I mean.
about that over the last couple.
Yeah.
The food is not what it used to be. All these people are becoming celiac or allergic to wheat because it's not wheat. It's something very different.
Everything's processed.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is we've seen head trauma, dementia, we've seen alcohol-related dementia, so there's 167 dimensions. And so I'm really happy that they're starting to diagnose them, because even though there's a lot of general things to remember, and communication and behaviors are very generalized, there are still some specifics.
Yeah.
So frontal temporal is another one. So yeah, the need is only going to grow. And if they do it right, so actually when we build now, we've got it down to pretty good science. It's 10 months out, and we're doing really well. So
Well,
that's
they've
great.
come a ways. I mean, at least I know at least one circumstance I saw Christine's aunt had dementia pretty bad, and through medication. I don't know if you guys have seen this too, but she, once they got it figured out, I mean, she was almost back to her normal self. Not entirely, but she went from for lack of a better term, I'd say 30% original self to about 90%. She didn't know who you were, all that sort of stuff too. I mean, I was impressed by it.
Yeah.
For you, maybe not as much because you probably see that when you go out and
Well, and that's somebody hasn't managed her meds very well, and not that doesn't happen. life. It does. But yeah, medication make a big difference. And then we also see a big difference if someone's undergone surgery. Coming out of the anesthetic really can change,
Oh, sure.
your thought process. And it may take a while for you to come out of it. May take more than just overnight. It may take a few days. It may take weeks to come out of it fully. So yeah, there's a change in people too when they have surgery.
That makes sense. I see that with my mother-in-law. And I remember one time I was in there and she asked me if I wanted an umbrella, and I said, no, I'm good. And she goes, yeah, I probably should keep it. I said, yeah, that sounds good to me. And we're indoors, to be clear. This was not an outdoor medical facility. So there's no need for an umbrella, but I wasn't going to challenge you on it either.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you should do is you don't argue.
No.
Don't argue. You agree.
Yeah.
Don't argue.
Yeah. Because for them, it's real.
Yes, it is.
And that's the bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've been on the show before and we talked about that. But if anyone has any questions, I have some great handouts on memory loss.
So numbers, emails.
So my number is 501-5100. That's my office number, 501-5100. My email is Longview, spelled out CL, at Kelsch, KOELSCH. The word senior spelled out, .com. It's probably easier to remember the phone number, 501-5100.
That's a great number.
Yeah.
Well, years ago, I bought that number for the company. You used to be able to buy your numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with giving my cell phone. It's 430-1200. I bought that number
That's
too
awesome.
years ago.
You used to be able
You
to.
can buy them for $50.
That is
Buy telephone
awesome.
numbers.
I think you can still buy them, but I think they're a little more than that.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can buy them, but yeah, so my cell phone is 430-1200, and then my office number is 501-5100. But yeah, I know. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I know.
I
I
didn't
got
know
that
you
number for years.
didn't know you can buy numbers like that.
I know Bumblebee Towing is 501-48.
Oh, there you go.
So you're 5100, 300 more.
I remember buying the number at the Canterbury Park. I was on the phone with the telephone company, and we went through all different kinds of combinations to see if that number was available, and that was one. So I wanted easier numbers. I wanted systematic numbers, but I couldn't get a systematic number, meaning sequential. But that was one of the. Yeah, they used to. I used to sit for a long time on my phone.
I always had a great time. 8675309. The song.
8675309.
I can beat you that. This is given my husband's age, but my husband's birthday is 12345.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
12345.
See, I love numbers. I got
That's
everything numbers.
awesome.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
And people, they go, "Are you kidding me?" And he goes, "Well, why would I say that?" Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh.
This might be letting people a little bit into my craziness, but literally in the car when I turn the radio, I turn it up on even numbers. I'm like crazy. So it's like 25, I turn to 24, 26.
Call 501 and have them committed.
Yeah, exactly.
So what made you decide
Sounds
to
good.
move your office over there?
They needed the space. At the Canterbury. I've been at the office at the Canterbury Park before. When I started with the company 16 years ago, I started in a closet. They let me out of my closet, then they moved me to another closet. They let me out of that closet, and they moved me to an office. That office, I went to the gardens. From the gardens, I went back to the inn. From the inn, I went to the park. Then I went back to the inn, and now I'm back at the park. They moved me
Wow. Get a
wherever there's
passport, it'd be cool.
space.
Oh.
Yeah. Wherever there's space is where I go. It is what it is.
You know, you should
Doesn't
look at the
matter.
map and say, you know what, this is still open. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
And for a while at the park, actually, for a while I was living, my offices were in apartments.
Oh, wow.
And they'd rent the apartment and I'd have to move.
Wow.
Anything else you guys want to cover? Or?
I think I'm good.
Now we're towards the end, aren't we? Guys, your shout outs. You
Yes.
can never miss a shout out.
I know, right?
Yes.
I love you guys. Thank you
Even
for
though
having
we're
me.
not at Lynn's Ice Cream Report, in the tradition of being there,
There,
a
yes.
reminder, a sponsor of the show is Lynn Brewer, 1232 Commerce,
1232 Commerce. You turned your head when you said that.
636-4558.
There you
Is
go.
the phone number. Don't call that other number unless you need real estate. So probably not on that. So shout outs.
Yes. Shout outs, which are right here.
Got a whole list.
You better hurry up. We only have a couple minutes.
5, 4, 3.
Shout outs. Ray from Longview, Dane from Germany, Ann from Longview, Rachel from Escondido, Elisa from Kelso, Aaron from Vader, Michael from North Dakota, Renee from New Hampshire, Connie from Cleveland, Connie from Winlock, Debbie from Vancouver, Christine from Longview, Darcy from Longview, Gail from Peachester, Australia, Vitalius from Kenya, Martha from Tacoma, Susan from England, Jamal from Africa, Stephen from Oregon, Riz from Seattle, TJ from the Midwest, Lynn from Victoria, BC, Mark from Pennsylvania, Amelia from Longview, and Black Dog Hat India Acoustic from the UK.
Wow, nice. Congratulations, guys.
Oh yeah.
It's always fun. Thank you.
Also, a big shout out to everybody that's here, vendors and whatnot, Relay Local. Next week, we don't know the guest yet, so that's to be determined. Host will be John.
John, thanks.
That works. That works.
Look, John, give me the host again.
Actually, a quick little funny thing. So, are you guys in the classified groups on Facebook?
Classified groups?
Yeah, they got like classified people sell things on there.
Classified.
Oh, yeah.
Longview
Yeah,
Classified.
yes.
So I'm looking on there earlier, speaking of Reliable Local, I don't know if people are familiar with our mascot, but his name's God, he's sleeping in our costume. We look on there, and somebody's got Wood Brazil. Really? And Christine, my wife's just like, you know what, so you end up buying a Halloween or middle party, you end up drunk. And it's like, our name on it, like, you gotta buy it.
We gotta go buy it.
Yeah, we buy it.
Yeah.
So you have two of them now.
We have 3, actually. The first one wore out. And the second one's starting to wear. We didn't get a lot of miles on
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yes, that's pretty funny. So anyway, just a little side note.
Well then.
Yeah, anyway.
All right. Well,
Thank you so
again,
much.
we're here from Northwest Natural Stone.
It's been a great night.
It's been a great night.
Yes.
There's probably what, 75 people here?
Yeah.
100
Plus some not already
Well,
left.
that's what I
So
mean.
Yeah, I've been seeing people come and go, which is cool.
anyway, join us next week at 6 at Lynn's Ice Cream Yogurt More on Commerce. I guess that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.